Mrs. Ashton, you have given a very diplomatic speech, I should say. But this time I have to tell you that it's not my habit to agree with Mr. Sarkozy, but this time I must admit that he is right. I don't think that we have still an Annan plan, or that the plan is working. Let's face the facts. You didn't talk about that. There were more than 100 breaches of the Annan plan the last 2 days who were identified. There were more than 50 people killed yesterday. I don't know how many casualties there were today in Syria. So how you can talk about an Annan plan? An Annan plan was not applied in practice by Bashar al-Assad. So I think what we need, the international community needs again several hundreds of killings before everybody is recognising that in fact it is not working, because Bashar al-Assad is not willing to apply it. So I think that all this is leading us again to an increase of killings, and that's in Syria. And now the last idea is, yeah, we shall put observers. Observers, and the international community and the European Union is saying, okay, we shall give all the support. What it means support? To put 215 observers, you need several thousands of military equipment to protect them. Otherwise it's impossible. Mr. Vimont is a specialist, maybe he can tell us what in a normal operation, when you put 215 observers in Syria on the ground, how many soldiers you need to do that. And why we shall do it? To protect our observers, not to protect the Syrian people who are still under attack of Bashar al-Assad. I think it's really not the way forward. What we have to observe, Mrs. Ashton, there, what we know in fact already, that the plan is not working, that Bashar al-Assad is killing more people, that we know that Bashar al-Assad is ignoring his promises, that Bashar al-Assad is simply continuing with a number of crimes against humanity. Is that what we need to know? We know it. So I think time is over now. What we need is not to observe and to protect the observers. What we need now is to act. And we know what it means. 3 things: safe zones, humanitarian corridors, and a support for the Syrian opposition. And if we can do it with the Security Council, let's do it with the Security Council. And if it is not possible with the Security Council because of the position of Russia and because of the position of China, well, we do it without the Security Council. But the international community has an obligation. And finally, a last question. Can you give some information on this last incident with a German ship that is trying to deliver arms to Syria, and that is directly breaching the arms embargo? And Mr. President, I think also I said from Mrs. de Keyser, this is more important than always putting your hammer down when we are talking serious problems as the crisis in Syria. Thank you.
Jestli dovolíte,